I just came up with one of my favorite Nitro Math ideas that I've ever thought of. So I was just mulling over the fact that Nitro Math doesn't do as good as Nitro Type. I mean, that's kind of clear. They're totally different. This is a very, very popular game with millions of visits a month on the website, and Nitro Math has about 50,000. So there's a disparity there. Well, I was thinking, what can make the community more engaged? I mean, we have the garage, we have the season, the shop, the friend, that's all the same. It's been the same for so long now. What is different that other successful games are doing that Nitro Type or Nitro Math doesn't have, and specifically Nitro Math? So I was thinking to myself, and I said, there's not a lot of community involvement in Nitro Math. There's not that camaraderie, right? You have your teams, which is basically the extent of it, right? And there's so many now like botters with I'm not saying VDN's a botter, but I'm saying there's so many botters in general that it just all seems very anti-competitive, right? There's not much camaraderie. Of course you have classes, but that's not really, I don't know, it's just not there. So what could we have in Nitro Math that would generate that type of camaraderie? And I hate using Fortnite as an example, but it works every time. So if anyone's ever played Fortnite, you know how it works. You of course have your normal Fortnite Epic Game created game modes, but you also have creative, right? And what I propose is something like creative mode for Nitro Math. Obviously, in Fortnite Creative, there's a lot more interpretations. You can kind of create everything. But what in Nitro Math? What if you could have a new tab up here, right? And it said something like community, or it said something like arenas. And basically, when you clicked on it, you could go and create your own Nitro Math game. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Unreal Engine, but it's a software for developing games. Basically, you would be able to customize your own tracks. You'd be able to design, like the background I'm playing on right now, you'd be able to design that. So you could add trees if you wanted to. You could add barriers. You could add people. You could add logos. You could add a variety of different things. You'd be able to add tracks, right? So you drag track pieces. They could connect. You could create shapes, whatever. It would be really, really cool, not only because it's community involvement, but then you could share those designs with other people and they could play on your tracks. So it's a really cool way to have that community involvement. But wait, there's more. Not only could you just design better tracks, you could design math problems. So right now, we obviously know there's only 9 math problems, right? 9 different types. Well, what if you wanted to play a variety? What if you wanted to have addition and subtraction and multiplication all in one game? How would that work? So with this new type I propose, not only would you be able to create backgrounds, but you would also be able to create your own math problems. So you could do 8 plus 1. You could do, 5 times 3. Whatever you wanted to, that could be the creation, and that'd be left up to the community and the individuals. So, as I said, this is very much like, Fortnite creative mode, where you can design what you want, set your own settings, all this stuff. You could set game limits. How long do you want a game to be? Like, all these certain requirements could be designed. Now, there's 2 problems with this. Number 1, abuse. How are people going to create a game, right? So if they create a game that's just like 1 plus 1, how can you prevent that so that people just don't spam and get lots of XPs and lots of games, right? Do you have a minimum time limit of 30 seconds or a minute? Like, what's your minimum time limit so that people don't do a 2-second game, right? And then also another problem is, how do you prevent people from abusing it and creating inappropriate stuff, right? Let's say they make a word out of track or stuff like that. How do you prevent that? So those are really the big issues with this. And then, of course, designing a whole new software to create Nitro Math tracks, and then not only having the software, but then also having the ability to store and then remember and reload those tracks for people all around the world. So there are a lot of logistical issues with it, but I just think it'd be a really, really cool way to increase community participation. Of course, you have like the ability to vote on a track. So you click on one and you're like, hey, I really love this track. I want to see more of this type. You'd be able to follow creators. So like, let's say I create my own track, right? Overcomer solving. Well, you can look at all the different variety of tracks Overcomer solving's created. And then of course the issue is now Nitro Math has to create more game assets, right? So we have trees already, but then, create different types of trees, winter trees, summer trees, palm trees, oceans, be able to resize them, how large do you want them, how small do you want them, how big of a, a lot of other things would go into this. But I as a concept, I think it's a genius idea. In practicality, I don't know how realistic it is. Let me know what you think. Do you think we could execute on this? Do you think it would increase the camaraderie of the game and it would actually increase the willingness for people to get involved? Because you're not just playing a game, you are investing your time into creating the game, right? And then you can share that with your friends, of course. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a good idea or not? Have a blessed day, and I'm sorry about not posting. I've been really busy in my life, but I hope to see you guys soon.